Hollywood Kids, the latest bunch of celebrity gossips. On Wednesday, wives and ex-wives of politicians, including notorious Rita Jenrette. On Thursday, feminist publisher Gloria Steinem celebrates 15 years of Ms. Magazine. And on Friday, the new Ann Landers will answer your questions. All coming up on Twin Cities Live, weekday mornings at 9.
You're watching KSTP TV, Minnesota's News Channel 5.
Live from Minnesota's News Channel, KSTP Channel 5, this is Eyewitness News Morning.
Good morning. It's 6 o'clock on this Monday morning, and yes, it is indeed still warm outside.
78 degrees already at 6 a.m. You know you're in trouble if that's the case. We're going to find out the details right now, though, with Bill Ranby. He's way upstairs in the Weather Center. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, Bob. You know, we've been promising that real warm weather for the weekend, and we had it. We're promising that cooling trend for the week ahead. We're going to get it, but we've got a front to come through first. This morning, there are some showers and thunderstorms around the state. Check the radar. Some thunderstorms developing from near Foley, east to St. Cloud, back to Litchfield. Other strong storms north central Minnesota and to our west around Redwood Falls. There is a severe storm watch out for much of western and west central Minnesota until 8 o'clock this morning. Nothing happening now in the Twin Cities, though. The temperature, though, is really warm. You guys are right. 78 degrees the temp. The dew point, 65. 64% humidity, winds light, and they'll be actually switching around to the northwest later today, but skies are partly cloudy now. We may have some thunderstorms to talk about. I'll be talking about that as well as the rest of our forecast coming up in about 5 or 6 minutes or so. So we will continue to have those showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. And again, I'll have more on the weather coming up about 5 or 6 minutes or so. Bob, Wendy?
Okay, thanks, Bill. In the news this morning, what fire officials are calling a suspicious fire is under investigation. A South Minneapolis grocery store was the scene of an early morning explosion. According to authorities, the Lincoln's Market caught fire and exploded shortly after 1 a.m. Officials say the fire started in the basement of the Chicago Avenue Market, and that evidence leads them to think foul play may be involved. No injuries were reported.
A fire in Inver Grove Heights yesterday gutted a home. The fire burned the second floor and roof of the house before firefighters could put it out. No one was injured in the fire at 1407 80th Street. Firefighters took a dip in the pool after putting out the fire to prevent being overcome by heat. Fire officials say they should determine a cause of the fire sometime this morning. And earlier yesterday, fire apparently spread from a grill to the garage and home of a St. Paul city official. The garage was destroyed, the house damaged. St. Paul's Planning and Economic Development Commissioner James Bellis lives there. No one was injured in that fire either.
Two curious children playing around with dry ice found out that it wasn't just a plaything. One Minneapolis boy was seriously injured when a bottle full of water and dry ice exploded like a grenade. John Wingate shows us how the accident points out the danger of even everyday items.
This is the science experiment we all remember. Put some dry ice in water and watch it smoke. But this frozen carbon dioxide can be hazardous. 12-year-old Raphael Spencer underwent nearly 4 hours of surgery. His bowel, chest, and arm were laced with shards of glass. Glass from a soda bottle Raphael had put dry ice into.
I put the cap on and I threw it down the hill. And then I waited for about 1 minute and I walked down there and I picked it up. And I didn't feel any water, and I shook it a little bit, didn't feel any water, it just blew up. And I ran into my aunt's house screaming.
The first thing I thought was that the kids got a hold of an M80, you know, those big firecrackers. All I saw was holes. Blood, lots of blood.
This is what's left of Raphael's shirt, blood-stained and full of puncture holes from the soda bottle shrapnel. 13-year-old Danny Locke was with Raphael when the accident happened. It took 8 stitches to close a cut on Danny's arm. He said they bought the dry ice from a neighborhood store for 38 cents.
It was just a freak accident. I didn't know it was going to blow up.
I don't believe it should be sold to kids ever again. If they're capable of making something like that and not knowing the dangers of it, it shouldn't be out there for any kid to buy.
It is not illegal to sell dry ice to children, but the accident illustrates the importance of parental supervision. Raphael Spencer found out the hard way what a few cents worth of dry ice can do. I'm John Wingate for Eyewitness News Morning.
In Brainerd, city officials are expected to again test the water today to see if it's still contaminated. Last week, Brainerd residents were warned not to drink their water unless they boiled it first. Tests had shown coliform bacteria in the water. City officials have since treated the water with chlorine to kill the bacteria. They should know the results of the tests by the end of the week.
The man believed to be the second longest living recipient of a human heart transplant has died. 53-year-old Richard Mueller of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, had received a heart transplant in 1971. He died yesterday of a heart-related illness. The longest living heart recipient is William Van Buren, who received his heart transplant about a year and a half earlier than Mueller. Well, the time now is 6:05 and it's still 78 very warm degrees. Bill Ramby's going to be coming up next, hopefully to give us maybe a little relief.
I don't think so, though, Bob. A little bit later on as well, we're going to tell you what's happening this week, including a former president's visit today to the Twin Cities.
Ugh. Why can't I ever take decent pictures? Where did I go wrong?
Maybe to the wrong photo finisher. Look, if they gave you bum photos, Pro-X will fix them. Free. Bring us your most disappointing pictures, plus their negatives, and we'll reprint a few, just to show you how much better Pro-X makes them look.
See? I can take decent pictures.
Pro-X. You won't be disappointed.
Maybe I should turn pro.
The year 1987. Your Twin Cities Cadillac dealers rock the world with news of their last chance sales spectacular. The last of the new 1987 Cadillacs are here, and it's your last crack at special savings opportunities on new 1987 Cadillacs. Factory incentives allow your Cadillac dealer to pass along special savings on DeVille's, Fleetwoods, and Bromes, plus special financing on Cimarron. Don't miss the last chance sales spectacular at your Twin Cities Cadillac dealer today.
Ever since Ponce de Leon searched for the fountain of youth back in the 16th century, the quest has never ended. But now it's more than just fantasy. It's big business. I'm Bob Bruce, and on the next Twin Cities Live, we examine the surgical techniques, lifestyles, and preventive products that promise anti-aging. Growing old may be a way of life, but we'll talk with professionals who claim you don't have to look your age. Monday morning at 9 o'clock, right after Good Morning America, here on Channel 5. It's now 6:06, 78 degrees outside. Today, St. Paul will host the 71st Annual Potato Association of America annual meeting. Potato people from as far away as Peru will attend the seminars and symposiums offered at the conference, including such topics as applications of tissue culture and micro-propagation techniques in potato production and potato marketing techniques. The three-day meeting begins this morning at the St. Paul Hotel. It's the first time the potato people have chosen Minnesota as the host state, so keep your eyes peeled.
Oh, Bob.
Maybe it's a little early for something.
I think maybe.
Not good. Not good. But we've got relief for you.
Not good. Look at the weather we've had the last few days, and you're
relief from bad jokes and from hot weather, Bob, coming up here in the weather segment. But good news, though, we will see a cooling trend. That's going to happen tonight and tomorrow. Before that, though, we've got some thunderstorms to go through. Currently outside, it is real warm. It's muggy. The temperature is 78 degrees at the Twin Cities Airport as of 6 a.m. The dew point is still 65, and that may come up a little bit early this morning. The humidity is 64%. Winds are light. They're south at 5. The pressure holding steady at 2983. Skies currently mostly cloudy. There have been thunderstorms overnight. Checked the radar lab since about 1:30 when I came in this morning. There was a line of thunderstorms up just south of Mille Lacs. That tracked to the east-southeast and then died out. Bigger thunderstorms developed again to our north and west, and this morning they are still to our west. But check the live radar. There's another line of thunderstorms developing from around Foley, east of St. Cloud, back to around Cokato, and these thunderstorms will track through the metro, I think, during the next 1 to 2 hours. And they could be on the heavy side. Nothing happening, though, currently in the metro area. There is a storm watch in effect until 8 o'clock this morning. That is off for the west of the Twin Cities, but that may have to be extended to the east as thunderstorms now are developing in our area. And there is a slight risk of severe weather across most of southeastern Minnesota, all of Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois. So we have an atmosphere that is ripe for producing strong to severe thunderstorms. So it could happen sometime during the day today, especially this morning. This afternoon doesn't look bad at all. We will continue to have the front sliding southeast of us. That may trigger those showers and thunderstorms, especially later this afternoon. Look out for northwest Wisconsin, extreme southeast Minnesota. But there is a drying, cooling trend coming in. Partly sunny skies, a few scattered showers northwestern part of the state, but temperatures really cooling off. Look, 82 for a high in Duluth, 90 in the Twin Cities, but only 75 out there in Bismarck. Our forecast then for midday calling for skies to be partly cloudy. There could be some thunderstorms around, and again, some of those could be severe today. Temperature around 84 at midday, and then for the afternoon drive time, looking for about 85, a high of 90. Still some scattered thunderstorms this afternoon, this evening. Tonight, though, we'll see a clearing trend, partly cloudy, breezy, and cooler, 63 for a low. It's going to feel incredibly comfortable tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to have temperatures around 80 for high, partly cloudy skies, breezy, a shower still possible. Yeah, you might want the wool blanket tomorrow. Also, we might have temperatures into the upper 50s by tomorrow night.
Wow. 50s?
It's possible.
That'll be free. We'll have to put coats on. We're so used to the
All right, thanks, Bill.
Okay.
We're going to check in on the traffic on this Monday morning right now with Marianne Sullivan. Good morning, Marianne.
Good morning, Wendy, and we have a green light on the metro system this morning as traffic is moving smoothly. On the west end, County Road 18, both directions from about 36th Avenue north to the crosstown, traffic light to moderate and moving at the posted speed limits. One ramp closure to take note of this morning in the construction zone, 35W northbound. It's the ramp to Highway 96, and that's going to be closed through Wednesday. We're moving at the posted speed limits for most of the system. I'm Marianne Sullivan, Metro Traffic Control, reporting live for Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Marianne. Some people are still recovering from the superstorm a week and a half ago, but many have been able to gather things together and start over. The Red Cross is scaling back its aid now. Today, its meal service will end, and Wednesday it will close its shelters. Red Cross officials say they helped feed more than 3,500 people since the storm.
Well, today, former President Gerald Ford visits the Twin Cities. He'll speak on the problems of balancing the budget at 8:30 this morning. Ford's speech will be before a forum at the Minnesota meeting at the Skywood Inn in Fridley. Ford's visit is just one of the events that's coming up this week. Janelle Gabor has a look at what else is on the schedule.
Coming up Tuesday at 7 p.m., Eyewitness News presents Special Edition. See how Bic lighters have been linked to serious injuries.
The average Joe doesn't know that these lighters are exploding in people's pockets, in people's hands, or acting like blowtorches and catching their hair on fire. I don't think that people know that. I think the public needs to be educated so they become aware of the problems.
That's just one of the stories you'll see on Special Edition at 7 o'clock Tuesday evening.
Where shall I skewer my peacock? Nay!
Have you ever wondered what goes into the making of a play for the Guthrie Theater? You can find out this week when the Guthrie opens its rehearsal doors to the public. The open rehearsals will take place at the Minneapolis College of Art and Design Tuesday through Saturday. Admission is free, but seating is limited. For reservations, just call the Guthrie ticket office at 377-2224. Do calcium supplements really help prevent osteoporosis? Find out from Dr. Michael Breen. That's this Thursday on Dr. Breen's Health Scene at 5.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to handle an armadillo? Now's your chance to find out. The Minnesota Zoo is looking for volunteers. The volunteers donate 1 day a week of their time doing animal demonstrations and conducting tours. To register for a training class, give the Minnesota Zoo a call this week. The number to call is 432-9010. Janelle Gabor looking ahead for Eyewitness News Morning.
All right, it's 6:12 right now, 78 degrees on this Monday morning. There was another of those father-son auto chases in sports this weekend.
And the chase for the pennant in the American League West, oh, it is squeaky tight. We'll have all of that right after this.
Premature birth. It can break your heart. That's why 2 years ago, Group Health started the first preterm birth program in Minnesota. And it works. Today, Group Health's premature birth rate is nearly 50% lower than the state average. Healthier babies, healthier mothers. Just what you'd expect from Group Health. Group Health, quality health care for life.
Nobody sells for less than Southdale Ford Yugo. Nobody, nowhere, no time, no how. Look, an 81 Mazda GLC, $79 a month, and no payments until 1988. Watch for the phone number because you'll want this car. An 82 Bonneville in mint condition, $99 a month, no payments until 1988. Who sells for less than Southdale Ford Yugo? Nobody, nowhere, no time, nobody.
I'm Steve Edelman.
I'm Sharon Anderson.
On our next Good Company, find out what's causing so many adults to become first-time allergy sufferers this summer.
And on Gary's Treasures, he hunts for the most romantic restaurant table in the Twin Cities for an intimate dinner for two.
And meet the newest member of the Eyewitness News anchor team, Mark Sapelsa.
Graduates, we talked to some of the class of '67 about their views when they got out. Today, Bob Evans of our News Star Network talked to the class of '87.
Join us at 3 for Good Company.
The Twins. Well, just a momentary slip. That's what I say. Just a momentary slip.
Cross your fingers.
You know, I find it curious that since Dan Gladden has started to slide, the Twins have started to slide. There's something catalytic about that guy, and it isn't. He's got to make it happen, or these guys are going to be in trouble.
No doubt about it.
Twins are a game away from scratch in the American West. They lost to the A's at Oakland yesterday in a smoke-filled contest, 6-5 in 11 innings. Game tied at 3 in the 7th with the bases filled with A's. Alfredo Griffin sneaked a single through the infield, and the A's led 5-3. Twins retrieved one of those in the 8th. Tom Bernansky hit his 22nd homer of the year, a solo shot that made it 5-4 Oakland. In the 9th, Twins still trailing, 2 outs, 2 on. Dan Gladden, Jay Howell uncorked a wild pitch. Mark Davidson beat the throw to the plate, and the game went into extra innings. Jeff Reardon got Minnesota out of the bottom of the 9th, then got a big break in the 11th. Griffin tried to score in a single. The throw to the plate appeared to be too late. Laudner blocked it. Griffin sneaked a foot onto the plate before the tag, but the ruling was out. Griffin was upset. Tony La Russa, the A's manager, was upset. La Russa was kicked out. The bat rack was beat up, but none of that mattered later. Jose Canseco, who couldn't buy a hit all day, knocked one off the glove of Al Newman. The run scored from second, and the Twins lost the game 6-5 in 11 innings. So it's on to California. Seattle beat California, so the Angels are a game and a half back of the Twins. Oakland's now a game back. Detroit continues to lose, or New York continues to win, I guess is the way we should put it. Toronto beat Cleveland, Kansas City walloped Boston, Chicago over Milwaukee, Texas down Baltimore. In the National League, Eric the Red helped Cincinnati stay 3 up on the Giants in the West. Eric Davis homer in the bottom of the 11th, his 30th of the season. It was the difference. The Reds beat the Giants 5-4. Other scores: St. Louis over Pittsburgh, the Mets beat Montreal, Chicago down Philadelphia in 11, Houston shut San Diego down, Atlanta doubled up on Los Angeles. Didn't take Ivan Lendl long, just a short filibuster in the D.C. Classic in Washington, and he'd talked Brad Gilbert out of the title. It took 56 minutes. The numbers were 6-1-6 love, and $39,000 for Lendl. For half the race yesterday, Mike Andretti chased his father. It was not, however, to ask Mario if he could have the car last night. What the younger Andretti wanted was to beat the old man at his own game, and boy, did he ever. Mario won the Marlboro 500 at Michigan International in record time, 171 miles an hour on average, the fastest Indy-type 500-mile race ever. At Canterbury Downs, they took it just a bit easier yesterday. 9th race on grass. Number 7 is Latidon, who had enough to hold off Al Challengers, paid $12.60. Nobody picked 6, so there's a $31,000 carryover for Wednesday. You can jump right out there and pick that up.
How old is that the son?
22.
Oh, very young.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Good for him. All right, thanks, Ed. It's 6:18 right now, 78 degrees on this Monday morning. Coming up, meteorologist Bill Ramby is going to tell us all about the weather today.
And later on Eyewitness News Morning, Dr. Michael Breen talks about a new drug that claims to help cure breast cancer. We'll have that just ahead.
If you don't feel guilty, it wasn't that good.
Doctor, I keep eating all the Frusenglasche.
All the what?
Frusenglasche. Ice cream. I just can't help myself.
Presenting Frusenglasche pralines and cream ice cream. So creamy, so delicious, so rewarding.
Have you tried giving up Frusenglasche?
What do you think, I'm crazy?
Enjoy the guilt. Frusenglasche.
Coming August 4th, a very special news magazine. Bic lighters, dangerous in the wrong hands, sometimes deadly in the right hand. A hot Minneapolis band that many people would empty their pockets to see. A backstage look at The Wallets. It's 3 p.m. Do you know where your children are? The dilemma of latchkey kids and their parents. Special edition, an eyewitness news magazine. Don't miss your bus. There's a better way. Now, from home or office, using any touch-tone phone, just dial CityLine 645-6060 and enter the category RIDE to find out the very next time to catch your bus. No busy signals, no hassles, just quick and easy access to MTC bus information now from CityLine. The call is free, so call 645-6060, enter RIDE, and get on schedule today with CityLine.
It is now 6:19, 78 very warm degrees in the Twin Cities, and let's check on the traffic conditions right now with Mary Ann Sullivan over Metro Traffic Control. Good morning, Mary Ann.
Good morning, and we'll keep that green light on the system as things continue to move smoothly for this Monday morning. 35E, you'll find traffic on the build between Highway 36 and 94, but holding at the posted speed limits. And, of course, you can use 35E as an alternate to the construction on 35W. And a reminder, 35W northbound, the ramp to Highway 96 is closed. That will remain closed through Wednesday. 169 from Pioneer Trail to 494, traffic moderate this morning and moving at the posted speed limits through there. So far, an accident-free system, and again, things moving very smoothly. I'm Mary Ann Sullivan, Metro Traffic Control, reporting live for Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Dave Dahl and I will be up in Alexandria tomorrow playing in the Resorters Golf Tournament, so hopefully we'll have a little bit cooler weather.
You guys are looking to win, aren't you, by the way?
Well, we're just looking to play. I mean, we don't really think about winning.
I think you'll be able to play tomorrow. Looks fine. We're going to take first a look at the week ahead and see what it holds for us across the country if you're planning to travel, vacationing perhaps. This is what it looks like for the early part of the week, Monday and Tuesday. We will have these scattered thunderstorms again, starting off in the Midwest, but then tracking off to the east, so it'll be actually drying out. Tomorrow looks like a very pleasant day in Minnesota, but the scattered thunderstorms will continue all the way out to New England. It'll be hot across most of the country and very hot across much of the Central Plains. Back down into Texas, temperatures could approach 100 degrees today and tomorrow there. Also in the desert Southwest out around Arizona. So it's going to be very hot. You'll notice by Wednesday through Friday, the cooler air shifts off to the east of us, and we'll begin getting some more scattered thunderstorms back from the west. We'll actually get some warmer air spreading back into the plains, causing all of this activity. So again, we may have some scattered thunderstorms by late in the week. But the mid part of the week here looks real good. Real hot in the southwest and some scattered thunder much of the southeastern part of the country. Current temperature outside is 78. It's very muggy, that's for sure. The dew point is 65, 64% humidity. Winds are very light. They're south at 5, and the pressure steady at 2983. Check the radar this morning. There are some scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly to the west of the Twin Cities. I took out the ground clutter because it doesn't look like anything's happening right now in the Twin Cities, but big storms developing from Duluth to east of Aitkin, around Mille Lacs, and then back to around Foley. And from there, west of the Twin Cities, some of that activity spreading to the east into the Twin Cities, and the satellite picture does confirm that. Across the country, big storms developing in the Dakotas, pushing towards Minnesota, so we may see some of this activity during the day today. Here's our forecast then for midday, calling for, again, partly cloudy skies for the day today. A chance of a thunderstorm. A severe storm is possible today. Temperature around 84 at midday. Our high will be around 90. Afternoon drive time. We still may have some scattered thunderstorms around, though. The winds will become northwest late this afternoon. Continue that way tonight. It'll bring in cooler, drier air. Partly cloudy tonight and low of around 63. Tomorrow's high back up to around only 80 degrees, so won't that feel nice? Partly cloudy, breezy with perhaps a shower. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we will see a slight warming trend. Wednesday looks like a great day. Temperatures only around 80 for high, but then Thursday and Friday back into the upper 80s to near 90s. So we'll have a couple of real nice days in the mid part of the week.
I love how you say only 80 degrees.
Yes. Well,
there are many times during the year when 80 degrees seems like
it hasn't been that way, though, yeah.
All right, these are the top stories in the news this morning. The reflagged tanker Gas Prince continues to make its way through the Persian Gulf. The exact location of the ship is not known, but it is at least halfway through its journey. Meanwhile, naval officials say 3 more Kuwaiti tankers will be reflagged within the next 10 days. The pro-Iranian group Islamic Jihad says it will retaliate against the U.S. and Saudi Arabia for the deaths of Iranian pilgrims in Mecca. Along with the threat, the Shiite Muslim group released a photo of American hostage Terry Anderson. Anderson's sister said he appears to be in good health. The forest fire that tore through a 10-square-mile range in Northern California is now essentially out. The fire had burned since Wednesday. 26 homes south of Lake Tahoe were destroyed. Forest Service officials say the fire may have been started by a careless smoker. It cost $1.2 million to fight it. And in Edmonton, Canada, survivors of Friday's tornado have been allowed to return to their homes if they can find them. 6 twisters ripped through the prairie town, killing 26 people and injuring almost 300. Well, the time now, 6:24, still 78 degrees out there here in the Twin Cities. Dr. Michael Breen is up next with a report on a new drug that says it can cure breast cancer.
That's right. And coming up on Eyewitness News Morning as well, we'll take a look at a behind-the-scenes journey with the Jets as they make a new music video.
Fresh taste of Vandy Camps has a new ring to it. Finally, fish from a microwave that's crunchy on the outside and moist and tender inside. The secret's in the crisping sheet. If this sounds good, wait till you taste it. Vandy Camps, the freshest ideas in frozen fish. Now get our new microwave fish sticks and fillets for your whole family.
Meineke knows what you want in a muffler. You want a quality muffler that doesn't cost a lot.
Young man, I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler, and I want quality.
We're not going to pay a lot for this muffler. No problem. Our quality Everlast mufflers are priced from just $18.93 installed.
Oh, I'm not going to pay a lot and still get quality.
You're not going to pay a lot for quality at Meineke.
For over 20 years, Bradley Exterminating Company has been providing quality exterminating services for fine homes, apartments, and businesses. And now, due to popular demand, we've also developed a complete line of quality products for the do-it-yourselfer. All Bradley Exterminating products are easy to use and packed with exterminator punch to get the job done fast. When you have a pest problem, look for a Bradley display in a store near you. Bradley Exterminating products. They work for exterminators, they'll work for you.
Available at Frattallone's Columbia Heights Ace and White Bear Ace.
The sound of the music, time again for Dr. Michael Breen.
Don't you love that music, Wendy? Kind of just gets me going. Okay.
Sure. Today we're going to talk about breast cancer. Women who are in high-risk categories, either a family history or a problem of lumps in their breasts in the past. There may be a new drug for them, apparently.
That drug is one that's well known in the medical profession called tamoxifen, and it's been used to prevent recurrence of breast cancer for, it's about at least the last 10 years, shown to be very effective at doing that. But animal studies have shown that this medication can also prevent breast cancer from starting in the first place. And Wendy, there's an ethical question here. Should the millions of women you refer to actually take that medication, or will possible side effects? You know, because this drug counteracts estrogen, people are concerned about, one, whether it might cause brittle bones, and two, whether it might predispose to other tumors. So there's a study now going on, Wendy, in which women are taking large amounts of tamoxifen on a broad scale at the University of Wisconsin to see if, in fact, these side effects occur. But imagine if, and we think it's going to be safe. This is, you've got to be certain before you give it to millions of people, obviously. But imagine, Wendy, a scenario in which 3 or 4 million high-risk women out there, women with a family history of breast cancer, women who've had benign breast lumps in the past, women who we believe are at high risk for breast cancer themselves, they could take this medication, probably harmless, and they could really be, in animal studies, 100% effective at preventing breast cancer. So we know we could really dramatically reduce what is now the second biggest cancer killer in women.
When will we know whether or not this drug is safe?
This study can last at least another year or 18 months. But there are some physicians who are giving high-risk women this medication now because they're so certain that there are going to be no side effects with it. But I'd still say that the vast majority are waiting. You don't want to, as safe as this drug looks over the course of the last 8-10 years, you really don't want to open up the floodgates, give it to millions of women until you're absolutely positive that nothing serious is going to happen.
The name of the drug again?
Tamoxifen.
Tamoxifen.
Yes, and well known. It's a prescription medication, already been on the market, but now for prevention.
All right, very good. Thanks, Doctor.
Thank you, Wendy.
Talk to you later.
Yes.
More Eyewitness News Morning right after this.
Divorce
Will.
Bankruptcy. Real estate.
Do you need legal help? Call Neff Law Firm, 831-6555.
Shoplifting.
Drunk driving.
Personal injury.
Criminal assault. Drug charges.
Adoption.
We can answer your questions and give the legal help you need at reasonable rates. Got a legal problem? Call Neff Law Firm, 831-6555.
Ever since Ponce de Leon searched for the fountain of youth back in the 16th century, the quest has never ended. But now it's more than just fantasy. It's big business. I'm Bob Bruce, and on the next Twin Cities Live, we examine the surgical techniques, lifestyles, and preventive products that promise anti-aging. Growing old may be a way of life, but we'll talk with professionals who claim you don't have to look your age. Monday morning at 9 o'clock, right after Good Morning America, here on Channel 5.
With a lot of determination and very hard work, Tanya Chapman has earned a second-degree brown belt judo ranking, and that makes Tanya the highest-ranked junior female judo player in all of Minnesota. Tanya practices an average of 32 hours every week, and as you can see, all that practice has really paid off. So please join me, Ruth Spencer, Wednesday at 6, and meet Tanya Chapman and find out more about her judo career. She's one of our incredible kids on Minnesota's News Channel 5.
Don't miss your bus. There's a better way. Now, from home or office, using any touch-tone phone, just dial CityLine 645-6060 and enter the category RIDE to find out the very next time to catch your bus. No busy signals, no hassles, just quick and easy access to MTC bus information now from CityLine. The call is free, so call 645-6060, enter RIDE, and get on schedule today with CityLine.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back on this Monday morning. It's 78 degrees here in the Twin Cities.
Good morning. I'm Bob Bruce. And in the next half hour of Eyewitness News Morning, the hot weekend weather proved deadly for some elderly Minnesotans. We'll tell you how to better cope with that heat.
And in Washington today, the Iran-Contra hearings wrap up their public testimony before going behind closed doors. Defense Secretary Weinberger will testify.
And if you think music videos are a new idea, we'll show you some that are at least 50 years old. But first, a South Minneapolis fire is being investigated this morning after fire officials called it suspicious. Authorities say the Lincoln's Market of Chicago Avenue caught fire and exploded shortly after 1 this morning. Officials say there may have been 2 explosions in the grocery store, one in the basement and one on the first floor. Firefighters were able to contain the fire, and there were no injuries reported.
Right now, we're going to find out how the traffic is moving along with Marianne Sullivan. She's standing by over at Metro Traffic Control. Hi, Marianne.
Good morning, Wendy. Still a green light on the system as traffic is still moving very nicely. You'll find the delay beginning to build, though, across the north end, 694 from Central Avenue to the River Bridge. Speeds dropping now below the posted speed limits, moving at 50 miles per hour. And also heading toward the airport this morning on 494 from 35W toward the airport, and also out on the crosstown. Eastbound from Pan to 35W, the left lane, of course, is heavy as you continue toward downtown. And then moderate traffic moving toward Cedar Avenue. I'm Marianne Sullivan, Metro Traffic Control, reporting live for Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Marianne. Guess what? Good news. The heat wave, it just may be over.
Yeah, I think it's still going to be a little humid today and a little warm, but we are seeing that trend. You know, we've been saying this about 3 or 4 days now, so it's going to get better. It is going to get better, but there are some thunderstorms that will come through today along with the cold front, so we'll have to keep an eye on those. The thunderstorms this morning just west of the Twin Cities. We'll have a look at radar in just a minute. Currently outside, though, if you're planning to travel around, here's what you want to see. The temperature is 78 degrees now, so you don't need to wear a jacket certainly this morning. The dew point is 65. Light south winds. Pressure holding steady. Skies are mostly cloudy. Our flyaway forecast for you. If you're traveling around the country, it's going to be sunny across much of the west and pretty warm. Dallas will be up to 103 for a high today with sunshine. Los Angeles, 84. Cooler near the ocean, warmer into the mountains. Seattle, about 82, a real pleasant day for them. In the east, though, there could be some scattered thunderstorms right here around the Twin Cities area and also around the east coast. There could be some thunderstorm delays if you're traveling in these areas that are shaded. You might want to check ahead. There could be some delays to travel. Atlanta will be hot, steamy, 95 degrees. So we got some real warm weather around the country across most of the U.S. The exception up here in the north central states, and some of that cool air is sliding in our direction and causing some showers and thunderstorms. Check the radar. These storms really developing to our west now, just to the west of Glencoe, up around Hutchinson, back to Winthrop, and these are traveling to the east and will be coming into the metro during the next 1 to 2 hours. We'll have to keep an eye on them as they continue tracking east. There's a storm watch out already this this morning. For much of western and west central Minnesota, this is again until 8 o'clock, but this may have to be extended east to include the thunderstorms as they track into the Twin Cities metro area. So we'll keep an eye on them. Other heavy thunderstorms this morning in northeastern Minnesota as well. For this afternoon, things looking like this. A cold front through southeast Minnesota, around 90 here for a high, but big thunderstorms may develop right along this front. We'll have to keep an eye on them. Cooler air, though, will be coming in. Our forecast then midday calling for, yes, partly cloudy skies and a chance of a thunderstorm, about 84 degrees for a high temperature. And then late this afternoon at drive time, around 85. Still could be some scattered storms, and again, a severe storm is possible today, a high of 90. For tonight's low temperature down to 63, that'll feel great, breezy and cooler. And then for the day tomorrow, back up to around 80 for a high, partly cloudy, possibly a shower during the day. Our pollen forecast, which has been in the low category throughout much of last week into the weekend, will continue to keep it there in the low category. That's certainly good news for people, but mold levels have been real high. That should drop as we get to this air mesh change, too. So
mold
good news.
Levels?
Mold, yeah. Mold
causes lots of problems.
That's true.
Okay, thanks, Bill. As Bill told us, tomorrow it appears we're going to get a break from the heat. The same heat that has sizzled Minnesota for the past week and a half has taken its toll both here and nationwide. 16 cities from California to West Virginia experienced record highs for the date. In all, the heat has been blamed for 72 deaths nationwide. The heat was so intense yesterday that it was just too much, even if you were fortunate enough to have air conditioning. St. Paul paramedics were called to the 2100 block of Como Avenue yesterday afternoon where an elderly woman was suffering from heat stroke. The woman's apartment was air conditioned, but the unit just could not keep up with the heat. She was later treated and released. Older residents are usually the hardest hit when the temperatures soar. Groups that deliver meals to senior citizens are checking on them to make sure they are taking proper precautions against the heat. This past weekend, 2 elderly people were found dead in their homes with the heat suspected as playing a role in their deaths.
We all know that humid weather can cause heat exhaustion and heat stroke, but it can also cause another problem, asthma. News Star reporter Allison Gilman explains.
Experts say 5 to 6% of the American population suffers from asthma, a sudden constriction of airways that makes breathing difficult. Asthma is brought on by a variety of things, but few asthmatics die from this condition, only about 2,000 a year in the United States. Asthma attacks reach a peak in the fall, around September, when ragweed fills the air, or in the winter when asthmatics breathe frosty air. But summer can mean trouble, too, because of the humidity.
Hot, humid temperatures, people have more problems, although still not as much as an early cold spell. To me, any asthma attack is important because that could be the one that people are going to have, not recover from it.
Dr. Willie says some signs of an impending asthma attack that merit a visit to the doctor are an increased rate of breathing, difficulty breathing, or taking more medication than normal to control asthma. Other warning signals are tightness in the chest or a cough that won't go away. 25-year-old Liz Zanarald is an asthmatic, and she's making sure to take her medication faithfully and watch for warning signals this time of year.
Yeah, days like this does make it a little bit tougher to breathe in. I always carry my inhaler everywhere I go.
Dr. Willie suggests staying indoors early in the morning and early in the evening on humid summer days like this one when there's the greatest concentration of mold spores in the air. Also, notice any changes in the weather. That can trigger asthma attacks. And last, take all asthma medication regularly. And if you notice any changes in the amount you're taking, contact your doctor right away. I'm Allison Gilman reporting for the News Star Network.
The Iran-Contra hearings are coming to an end today. The testimony of the Secretary of Defense will wrap things up. News Star reporter Marlon Jennings has a preview.
After 12 weeks of public testimony, the Iran-Contra hearings are expected to wind to a close today. The last witness, Defense Secretary Caspar Weinberger, returns to the hearing room to finish answering questions. Last week, Weinberger said he felt sure President Reagan was opposed to the Iran arms deals on December 7, 1986, 2 days after former National Security Advisor John Poindexter said Reagan authorized the deal. And the Surgeon General talks about America's response to the AIDS crisis in Washington today. C. Everett Koop will also receive an award this morning for his work to curb the spread of the disease and educate Americans about the subject. In Washington, Marlon Jennings reporting for the News Star Network.
The Kuwaiti tanker Gas Prince is steaming toward the perilous Strait of Hormuz, this under U.S. naval escort. A Kuwaiti oil source says the ship should exit the Persian Gulf sometime this morning. In a related development, U.S. officials say 3 more Kuwaiti ships will be reflagged under U.S. colors within 10 days.
American crew members could face charges of involuntary manslaughter as a result of a cargo plane crash in Mexico. Today, Mexico's Attorney General said that the Miami-based air cargo company whose plane crashed last Thursday has assumed legal responsibility for the accident. 55 people were killed when the crew attempted an emergency landing on a crowded Mexican highway.
There's talk of new regulations in the tax-free bond market. Bettina Gregory has that in today's economic report.
Good morning. Last week, the FBI, the SEC, and the IRS launched investigations of up to 100 deals involving municipal bonds written by Matthews and Wright. Now there's a call for the federal government to step in and regulate the tax-free bond market, which is not now regulated. Here's Felix Rohatyn, chairman of New York's Municipal Bond Corporation, known as Big Mac.
And I think the time has come to bring this market under some kind of intelligent regulation.
Rohatyn says the scandal involving Matthews and Wright is giving all municipal bonds a bad name. The National Association of Purchasing Managers says the economy continued to expand in July. New orders rose faster than they did in the past 2 months, while the speed of vendor deliveries slowed down, reflecting growing demand. The demand for stocks has been high all week on Wall Street. The Dow opens this morning at 2572.07, another record. And the friendly skies are getting bigger. This morning, United Airlines opens its new $500 million terminal at Chicago's O'Hare Airport. It features moving walkways, laser scanners for baggage tags, and electronic signs for passengers linked to computers on board aircraft to update flight and boarding information. It's the biggest single airline terminal in the world, called, in a fashion reminiscent of Disney, the Terminal for Tomorrow. And that's the economy.
Remember, you can find out how your stocks do today with a free call to City Line. That number is 645-6060. Please remember to use a touch-tone phone.
640, 78 degrees here in the Twin Cities. Up ahead on Eyewitness News Morning, Ed Cairo will take a look at the sports scene. The Twins, I'll tell you, it's not going to get any easier for them.
I'm a little more optimistic, maybe. And next, today's Snapshots feature is an inside look into the music video business. We'll take a look at the Jets and their next hit.
Aircom knows your phone system is one of the most important assets your company can have. If you have the features you really need, and if you can add or subtract features as your needs change or new technology becomes available. That's why Aircom offers the completeness and flexibility of a Centron communication system from Northwestern Bell. Call 457-0543. Ask us about Centron. Aircom Incorporated, your authorized Northwestern Bell agent.
A lot of you out there don't believe superglues work. Take it from me. I'm Harry Coover. I invented superglue. And this new stuff really works. It's Duro Quick Gel with MTS. More thick, more quick, more stick. To work better on more things than ordinary superglues. Duro Quick Gel with MTS. There's no other superglue like it. Right, George?
Right, Harry.
Available at these fine stores.
I'm Steve Edelman.
I'm Sharon Anderson.
On our next Good Company, find out what's causing so many adults to become first-time allergy sufferers this summer.
And on Gary's Treasures, he hunts for the most romantic restaurant table in the Twin Cities for an intimate dinner for two.
And meet the newest member of the Eyewitness News anchor team, Mark Sapelsa.
Graduates, we talked to some of the class of '67 about their views when they got out. Today, Bob Evans of our News Star Network talked to the class of '87.
Join us at 3 for Good Company.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back on this Monday morning. It's 6:42, 78 degrees. You know, this fall, the Minnesota group, the Jets, will have a new album out, and that means they'll have some new music videos out as well. Today in Snapshots, a behind-the-scene glimpse of the making of a video.
All right, guys. Let's do it. All right, Zero, you ready? Got a lot of work to do today. Keep that smoke consistent, please. Zero, give me a sign when you're ready. Okay, mark
it. The Jets, singing and spinning their way to the top of the national charts. Director of Photography Daryl Brand has spent
Avenue because it's really the place that a lot of people look to when they're looking at performance in small settings.
You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
In the cutaway material, the stuff that happens sometimes happens magically, but a lot of it still, those special moments happens between the performer and the camera.
The most important element here is detail. Everything has to be synchronized, from the cameras to the costumes to the choreography, and it has to be the same every time.
When we're playing live, there's lots of times we mess up, and doing lip sync, nothing can go wrong.
There's a few rules that you have to remember while you're here. There's a lot of expensive equipment in here. There's a lot of people in here, and things can get damaged real easy.
Shooting around a live audience has an added challenge. Quarters are tight, and time is short. But in the end, it is the music that energizes everyone. And come November, the new song, I Do You, will probably be a big hit. I'm Wendy Lubavitch, a snapshot, August 1987.
They really are a great group of
They're
kids.
very talented.
Yeah, and they're very, very humble about what they've accomplished. The Vikings open training camp at Mankato today. They're disputing that undisputed heavyweight boxing title.
And the Twins' lead in the West is slimmer as they head into California. Sports in a moment.
Remember how great you felt when your car was new and beautiful? Boy, what a feeling. But how about now when your car is ugly? Better take a look at Maaco's famous half and half car and get in right now on Maaco's chain-wide half-price sale. You get a supreme paint job with new ultraviolet sunscreen coating for longer, better protection. Right, a better paint job at half the price. Here's how.
The Maaco's Supreme Paint Job. Regularly $399.95. Now only $200. Offered for a limited time.
Act now.
If you don't feel guilty, it wasn't that good.
Doctor, I keep eating all the Frusenglage ice cream.
Frusenglage, so creamy, so delicious.
Have you tried giving up Frusenglage?
What do you think, I'm crazy?
Enjoy the guilt.
Coming August 4th, a very special news magazine. Bic lighters, dangerous in the wrong hands, sometimes deadly in the right hand. A hot Minneapolis band that many people would empty their pockets to see. A backstage look at the Wallets. It's 3 p.m. Do you know where your children are? The dilemma of latchkey kids and their parents. Special edition, an eyewitness news magazine.
With a lot of determination and very hard work, Tanya Chapman has earned a second-degree brown belt judo ranking, and that makes Tanya the highest-ranked junior female judo player in all of Minnesota. Tanya practices an average of 32 hours every week, and as you can see, all that practice has really paid off. So please join me, Ruth Spencer, Wednesday at 6, and meet Tanya Chapman and find out more about her judo career. She's one of our incredible kids on Minnesota's News Channel 5.
We're discussing the Twins here. I'll tell you, Eddie, they really need to get hot because California, the Angels, really scare me.
The Angels are hot. Oakland is getting there, and we play California next, and then Oakland comes in here for a 4-gamer. It could be a desperate slide, folks. The Twins went into, Wendy, extra innings with Oakland yesterday, and controversy reigned in the 11th. The score tied at 5, a shot up the middle. Andre Griffith tried to score. The throw to the plate appeared to be too late, but the ump called Griffin out. Look at the foot. The foot's on the plate before the ball is there. Manager Tony La Russa thought so anyway, so upset he was kicked out when he protested. Griffin confined his abuse to the bat rack, but it all worked out for the A's. A little bit later, Jose Canseco, who'd previously gone 0 for the game, hit the single that drove in the winner. The A's win 6-5, take 2 out of 3 from that Twins series. Other scores in the American. Seattle beat California to keep the Angels a game and a half back. New York over Detroit. Toronto down Cleveland. Kansas City whomped Boston. 7-3 the verdict. Chicago over Milwaukee. Texas beat Baltimore 5-2. As we've mentioned, Twins got a little help from Seattle, who edged the Angels 5-4. Atwater, Minnesota's Mike Kingery got the Mariners off to a good start in that game with a first-inning grand slam. The Angels battled back to tie. Then John Moses squeezed Dave Valley, and Seattle beat California, who the Twins play tonight, 5-4. National League action. In 11 innings, Cincinnati stays atop the West, beating San Francisco. St. Louis by 8 over Pittsburgh. The Mets beat Montreal, Chicago in 11 over Philadelphia. Houston shut San Diego down, and Atlanta 10-5 over Los Angeles. A harbinger of fall, the Minnesota Vikings open training camp at Mankato today. It's just 13 days before their opening exhibition game at New Orleans. Dave Huffman, Mike Stensrud, and second-round draftee Ray Berry are unsigned. On Saturday night, Mike Tyson became the undisputed heavyweight champion of the boxing world. But undisputed is only part of the title. Michael Spinks disputes it, claiming he is the heavyweight champion. Spinks' IBF title was stripped for not fighting Tony Tucker. Now he feels he needs a shot.
Fight. I mean, it is a very death-threatening fight. This fight here will say it all. This is the one that everybody's been waiting for.
Okay, death-threatening fight. Pro golf had its moments this weekend, one of them ordinarily strange. Curtis Strange won St. Jude's Classic Golf Tournament in Memphis and the $130,000 that goes with it. There's the shot, tied for the lead with 4 others when he hit that approach, then made the putt to win. And in Denver, Chris Johnson of Tucson won a wire-to-wire tournament. She led all 4 days, becoming the first golfer in history of that event to lead from start to finish and then go on to win it. Of course, you've got a background with that Memphis tournament. That's been a great benefit to kids.
Heat index there yesterday, 115 degrees.
Ooh,
so at least a little cooler here. The time now is 6:50. It's 78 degrees in the Twin Cities. Next on Eyewitness News Morning, a final check with meteorologist Bill Ramby and a look at the day's weather and also a look at the week's outlook.
Yes.
Hopefully cooler.
Hopefully. And we're going to tell you what's coming up as well. The grandfather of music video, music films from the 30s. That's next on Eyewitness News Morning.
And if my hair turns to gray and they have to take me away.
For over 20 years, Bradley Exterminating Company has been providing quality exterminating services for fine homes, apartments, and businesses. And now, due to popular demand, we've also developed a complete line of quality products for the do-it-yourselfer. All Bradley Exterminating products are easy to use and packed with exterminator punch to get the job done fast. When you have a pest problem, look for a Bradley display in a store near you. Bradley Exterminating Products. They work for exterminators, they'll work for you.
Available at Coast to Coast North St. Paul and Grand Avenue Ace.
I'm Harry Sieben. I'd like to tell you about an important addition at Sieben, Gross, and Von Holtum. Former federal Judge Miles Lord, a proven advocate of your legal rights, has joined us. We've always been known as the law firm for injured people that want to know their rights. The addition of Miles Lord will make us even more effective in representing you. So if you've been injured in an accident, on the road, at home, or on the job, contact us for a free consultation. We assure you maximum protection of your legal rights.
There must be over 100 truck dealers in the Twin Cities. You have to wonder, why do people choose one over another?
Well, people are choosing Midway Chevrolet right now because we're offering S10 pickups and Blazers at huge discounts. Rebates up to $1,000 or interest rates as low as 3.9%. We've got over 120 S10 pickups and Blazers right here at Midway Chevrolet.
I'll see to it that you're satisfied with your new purchase at Midway Chevrolet. You have my word on that.
Midway Chev, University Avenue, St. Paul.
This morning, the French chef is in Italy.
Julia Child cooks pasta in Bologna.
Also, Daniel J. Travanti will visit with us.
And John Denver joins us.
This morning on Good Morning America.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. If you are just waking up, you'll probably notice that it's hot, but there's relief in sight.
Yeah, if you're in the West Metro, you might hear some thunder, too, because
really?
there are some thunderstorms out to our west. This morning, nothing happening in the Twin Cities at the present time. It's been, as you mentioned, though, very warm. Our overnight low temperature down to 78 degrees. Yeah, that's it. That's all we could manage for a low, 78. So far this morning, but no precipitation yet at the airport. Look at the average low, 63. We'll be getting down close to average over the next couple of days. Sunrise this morning was at 6 o'clock, and there are a lot of clouds around, also a hazy sky, and it is quite humid this morning. Although the dew point is only 65 under current conditions, you see the temperature there, 78. Humidity 64%. Winds are very light, south at 5. The pressure is steady. The sky is currently mostly cloudy. Temperatures now across the Midwest reflect some of the real warm air across the southern part of the state. 78 in the Twin Cities, the warm spot around us, but still 75 Mankato, 73 at Redwood Falls. To our south and east, there's a real thick area of fog down along the river between Rochester and La Crosse. La Crosse has 0 visibility and 71 degrees this morning. Out to our west, there's cooler air coming in, and that combination of cool air meeting the warm air is creating thunderstorms. Check the radar this morning. This stuff is really developing to our west. From Duluth to west of Pine City and back to St. Cloud. They had small hail there last hour at St. Cloud, and out to our west, just west of the metro area, around Hutchinson, back to east of Redwood Falls. Some strong thunderstorms developing. They're moving to the east into the metro, so we may get some of this weather turning onto the stormy side later on today. Let's check what's happening today. We may have a storm watch effect issued later on, but there is a slight risk of severe weather today across most of southeast Minnesota and western Wisconsin, so we'll have to keep an eye on those thunderstorms this morning. Our forecast then for midday, calling for partly cloudy skies and a chance of a thunderstorm. It could be severe. Temperatures of 84 degrees around midday. Afternoon drive around 85. They'll be cooling down from a high of 90. Our low temperature tonight will be down to 63. That's average for this time of the year. Breezy and cooler. And tomorrow, breezy, cooler, real nice day. Possibly a shower, but around 80 for a high, and temperatures nice and pleasant on Wednesday. And then warming up again for the end of the week. We can't get enough of those warm temperatures. We've had 5 days in a row of temperatures in the 90s going into today.
Let's keep working on getting them down there, Bill. Okay?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
All right, it's 6:54 now. 78 degrees still in the Twin Cities. And let's check on the traffic conditions with Marianne Sullivan at Metro Traffic Control. Marianne?
Good morning, and we'll keep the green light on the system as things continue to move very smoothly. In St. Paul, traffic building 94 from Mounds Boulevard to Marion Street, moving at 50 miles per hour. 35E from Maryland to I-94, traffic also moderately heavy. Coming in through Burnsville this morning, 35W northbound from Highway 13 to 494. Traffic now moving under the posted speed limits at 50 miles per hour. I'm Marianne Sullivan, Metro Traffic Control, reporting live for Eyewitness News.
Here's a look at the headlines this morning. Former President Gerald Ford will be in Fridley today. The 38th President of the United States will address the Minnesota meeting at the Skywood Inn. His speech is entitled Balancing the Budget, a Crisis in Leadership. Meanwhile, the Iran-Contra hearings in Washington will continue. It'll begin their last day of public testimony. Defense Secretary Caspar Weinberger is the scheduled witness. After Weinberger's testimony, the panel will hear from a trio of CIA agents behind closed doors. The panel will then start on a final report. The commander of the U.S. escort fleet in the Persian Gulf says the tanker Gas Prince is at the halfway point in its journey through the Gulf. In addition, he says 3 more Kuwaiti tankers will be reflagged within the next 10 days. And a top Iranian official has vowed to avenge Friday's deaths of hundreds of Iranian pilgrims in Mecca. A document delivered by the Islamic Jihad threatened retaliation and also contained a picture of American hostage Terry Anderson. Presidential envoy General John Vesey is wrapping up his meetings with Vietnamese negotiators in Hanoi. Vesey is there to try and resolve the fate of nearly 1,800 American servicemen missing in action in Vietnam. Vesey has reported some progress in his reports, but neither side is giving any details.
Well, if you have been watching our show this morning, you remember probably the story on the Jets, the Twin Cities music group, and their new music videos. Music videos aren't as recent as you think, though. Old-time versions called soundies played in jukeboxes in the 30s and 40s. Beth Campbell of our News Star Network shows us how they're now coming out on home video.
Hip hooray! Hip hooray! Say there's a great man here with us today.
This is a soundie. Between 1941 and 1946, there were thousands of them made. They were the first music videos, but apparently way ahead of their time. They never really caught on. They weren't shown on TV or in theaters. The only way you could see one was on a panorama, the forerunner of the video jukebox. So for the price of a dime, you could hit your local hangout and see the hottest hits from swing to vaudeville. Now you can see them in your living room. Soundies are back, home video style. Some are funny, some are serious, and some are just plain dumb.
The audio's a little tinny, and you'll also notice a few scratches on the video, but it is a journey back in time, and that can mean memories.
They probably remind me of some old movies that you used to see in the Nickelodeon.
They're rather entertaining, fascinating. Some of them look like they're forerunners of some events of today.
I'd rather have it than some of the television programs they have now.
ma'am, is hard to find. You always get the other kind.
True, Soundies will never be a threat to Madonna, but they do prove one thing. Everything old is new again. Beth Campbell reporting for the New Star Network.
You'll understand if my hair turns to gray, and they have to take me away. I've got those, oh, what an easy job you've got. All you do is wave a sick blues.
What if that's the same thing as the Monday morning blues? Bill, what do you think?
Well, I don't know. It's not time for the Monday morning blues. It's going to be one more warm, sticky day in the Twin Cities, and we could have some showers and thunderstorms. A severe storm is possible. Big storms developing right now in the West Metro from Hutchinson to Cokato, and some of those move through the Metro. So we'll keep an eye on those this morning. High temperatures around 90 today. Ed, what's coming up in sports?
Warm and sticky. That means the Vikings start training camp at Mankato today. Something they'll continue for much of August. Their first preseason game is a week from Friday at New Orleans. And the Twins are at Anaheim to start a 3-game series with the Angels. The Twins are a game up on Oakland, just a game and a half ahead of the Angels. The combined age of the starting pitchers tonight, by the way, is 85 years. Necro's 43. Sutton is 42, Bob.
Okay, thanks, Ed. Later this morning at 9, I hope you'll join us for Twin Cities Live. Today we'll look at people searching for the fountain of youth, how many people turn to surgery in order to look younger. That's at 9 o'clock. I hope you'll join me. And just a reminder, when you see news happening, call the Eyewitness News tip line. The best news about Minnesota comes from Minnesotans. Call 5TV News, 588-6397.